Hello everyone, this is 1 a.m., the strange and supernatural. Now, I'm going to tell today about my own experiences with sleep paralysis. Excuse me. And one of the oldest experiences that I can recall of my own is, I would say it's around 2003, 2004, although it might go back all the way to when I was in high school, 97, 1998, those years right there. So the first time that I can remember was probably, just to be as accurate as possible, I would say after I graduated high school at the end of my senior year. But I'm gonna share with you an experience that was one of the more scarier and one of the stronger experiences of my own sleep paralysis. Now, we'll go to, yes, when I was living at my dad's house. This was also right after high school, and I decided I wanted to, get out of the city and try to live, in a small town. So this small town is in the area of Fresno and the surrounding towns there. I remember falling asleep, and let me first tell you what the house looks like so you can see what's really going on. You can see it more clearly. Okay? So now if you walk in through the main door of my dad's house, it goes straight into the living room, and the first room on your left is the study. Now, if you come out of the study and go straight and you just walk straight, you're going to hit the kitchen, and there's a TV room there. We call it our TV room. That's not going to be our dining room. We called it our TV room. And there's a big couch right there. So you have the kitchen, and then the TV room, and the big couch. I went for a nap on the big couch. My arms, I think I had them kind of on my stomach, on my chest. I was laying down. I did not fall asleep on the couch on my side. I fell asleep on my back. And I fell asleep. Now, I remember being fully aware of my surroundings. I knew that I was not asleep and in a dream anymore. I know the difference, and I'm very familiar with knowing what state of consciousness I'm in. Waking life, sleeping life. I call it waking life and dream life, but this was definitely not a dream. This was completely real. Just a quick side note here. I looked up the definition of a hallucination, and this experience of mine does not fit the definition of a hallucination. This was an actual event, an actual happening. I was fully aware, as if I'm awake, speaking and sharing my experience through this video. Like right now, I'm fully aware. I am conscious. So, to take a few steps back here, I fell asleep on my back, And then I knew that I wasn't in a dream state anymore, where you have your dreams, and I look over to my right, and I look around a little bit. Everything is in its place. The TV is there, the coffee table is there, the kitchen, I can kind of see the edges of where the kitchen is, because of course I couldn't turn my head all the way around. I cannot move any part of my body, none. But I was able to kind of look around a bit more. I remember I'm able to turn my head a little bit. Mind you, I can turn my head not physically, okay? Like I was saying, I'm completely aware, but I cannot move physically. But I was able to see in the range of my peripheral. Okay, so if I'm looking at an object, like when I'm at work, I'm looking at a table, I'm at the restaurant, I'm looking at a table, I can see the scope of, let's say, a half circle. So if you take a circle and you cut it in half, I can see that range. I can see what's on the edges of my vision, which is called your peripheral. So I turn my head and I see something there. At first I thought it was a person. I see a head, I see shoulders, and I see a body. I see legs. I kind of see arms. Now, this is one of the only sleep paralysis experiences that I have had where I actually see something, okay? And once again, I would not put this in the definition of when you see a person in a dream. This, quote, let me say, this being, this entity, whatever you want to call it, I could not see any details of its face. It was all black. The only details I could really see was, like I said, feet. I can see arms, legs. It was very tall. Let me point out that it was, I would guess, from my perception, 7 feet tall or even 8 feet tall. And I did not see a face. It was like those other experiences that other folks have had, that other people have had, of seeing a person, but they know it's not a real person, during sleep paralysis, when they see a being. Some of them have described the old hag, shadow man. Yeah, mine was all black. The clothes were kind of a little bit baggy on this being, on this, I call it non-physical, okay? They are there, but they don't have a body like us. So this is in another realm of awareness, of perception. So it's all black. I can see that its clothes are a little bit baggy. Can see no features of a face. But I knew it was real, and it was there. And that this being can see me, that it's aware of me. So as I'm looking at this thing, I'm getting a little scared. I am already familiar with not being able to move when I'm in that sleep paralysis state. So I'm thinking, okay, well, I can't move. I've already grown used to that, okay? For all of you that are listening, I've grown used to that. I can shake out of that feeling of being frozen where you cannot move your body, but you're completely aware. And everything in the room is in its place, etc. Now, this being, it took a few steps, I believe, it took a few steps, and then it left. I think it jumped, but it left. And then, I fight out of my sleep paralysis. I make myself wake up. and I do this shaking thing that shakes me out of it. I can't really describe that right now. I can try to describe that shaking technique, that shaking tool. It's kind of a tool that you use to kind of wake you up. So this being, it takes a couple steps and it's gone. I don't remember it being there anymore. I don't see it in that spot. Oh, and another important thing that I remember of this being when I was in sleep paralysis. From where I fell asleep on the couch, I would judge it was maybe a little bit past the TV. So that would be, I'm judging, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 feet away from where I fell asleep. That's where this really tall shadow person was. Okay? Alright, everyone. This is my sleep paralysis experience, one of the only sleep paralysis experiences that I have had where I actually saw visually something that I felt had its own, how do you say it, consciousness, where it moves on its own. It's not a hallucination of my own. And if any of you are having these experiences, please comment me in the box below. Or if you would like to talk on the phone, comment me in the box. Please put a like. It keeps this channel going. Alright, everyone. I am 1AM. Thank you for listening. And do not forget, you are never alone.